It's the DJ DNA podcast. I'm DJ DNA, and today we got my girl in the building, Barbara McLean, aka BarBreezy. What's up?
Hey, man, I'm here, and I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of this. Thank you.
No, thank you. It's been killing me not to sit here and talk to you. Every time you try to say something, I'm cutting you off. Let's get it on the air. Let's get it on the air.
Well, we here now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, first thing I want to talk about is how's the weather for you? How you liking the snow?
I like it when I don't have to do anything in it. I'm fine with it. So today, I was able to just sit in my bedroom and watch it fall and watch it dissipate. I'm good.
Yeah, man, it's been quite a couple days because I've been excited to have you on here and just literally just soak in the stuff that you got going on, or the things that happen to you in your life and all that other stuff. But I do want to start off by like how we met and my experience on how we met and see if you remember this, because the first time I ever came across you was during the BLM movement. You know, we had the march here in Middletown.
Yes.
And at the time, actually, my nephew was staying with me. My nephew is from Atlanta. My sister lives in Atlanta. And during that time, the Atlanta police said they weren't going to work.
Right.
And my sister was here visiting during that time. So I'm like, Tanya, let's leave Alex here.
Right.
Go back to Atlanta, do what you got to do, let them stay the summer here, and then we'll send them back. I'll bring them back to you or whatever.
Right.
You come get them or whatever. And during that time, we did the Middletown March down Main Street, and I was with Alex, and you took a picture of us.
Yes.
And it was actually in the paper, and that's like my favorite picture. It actually means the most to me. Yeah, no, for sure. It was something that I was able to do with my family that actually meant something. I felt like we were making a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe a year or two went by, and I'm shopping at Michael's.
Remember that?
We're shopping at Michael's, and I had to stop because that picture was so powerful to me. I had to stop and be like, hey, do you remember us? And da-da-da-da-da. And
that just touched my whole spirit. Like, thank you. And I have some of the pictures from that day, too. So I'm going to go back in my catalog.
I definitely meant to screenshot it just so I could show you. But there's so much going on here. I just never did. But it's super powerful. You're, like, really good.
Thank you
You're
so
really
much.
good at
Thank
capturing
you.
those moments.
Yeah, and I've been into photography for a couple of years now, since 2019, and it gives me great pleasure when someone will just randomly say, "Hey, yeah, you snapped my picture, and I really liked it," because I like candid stuff more than anything else. So, and I definitely involved with anything community. I'll just come out. No one even have to ask me to bring my camera. I would just come out there and just start shooting.
That's so dope. I honestly want to do more. I do all, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. So I like to throw events where, I throw parties. You got to buy a ticket to a party, but I do a lot of that. Honestly, I want to do like a drive. I want to do a toy drive, or like a hollow, like a trunk or treat, or something like that. I'm overdue for it.
Yes.
Yes,
and those drives are very important. I just finished one with an organization that I run with, or I'm on their board, Hartford Literary out of Hartford, Connecticut, and we do a festival every year at the library. So it's ran by CEO Nzima. And, more of us are on the board as well. I'm sorry, I'm not naming all the board members.
Right.
But we just finished a hat and glove and scarf drive, and we put it on.
I'm laughing because I just cleaned off my car and I couldn't find my gloves. Like,
really?
I should have came. I need some gloves. I was wearing the kids' mittens. I felt like
Yeah, so as the outreach coordinator, along with Lorraine, myself, and Rosa Bailey, we make connections in the community, and we realize how important it is. So I just started my own nonprofit called I Am Woman Too, and that is something that I am looking to get involved with too. giving back to the community is so important. But mine's going to be a T-shirt drive.
Okay. All right. I definitely, I dove into your social media to pull so much that I could because, I know a little bit about you. I don't know too much, and I see you promote a lot of stuff. I don't know how much you're actually involved with or how much you're actually just supporting others because you do both.
Right.
But before we get there, I want to, since you said we talked about the photography, I want to go back there, right? Because that's something that was very impactful in my life. And you said you've only been doing it since 2019.
Yes, 2019, I made it a business. So I started maybe 2017, 2018, just running around with my camera. And 2019, I decided to make it legit and make it a front studio in New Britain, my first one. And so it's Barbara McLean Photography. And right now we're located in Bristol, Connecticut. So I have a studio out there, and I've been there for 3 years, coming up. I think it's my third year now. And I love it, and I love projects.
Right.
I love to do projects. So right now I'm working on 2025 I Am Woman 2 project where 31 women are selected through a theme that has been created through myself. So every year since 2019, I come up with a yearly theme, and these are nominated through social media, peers, friends, alumni of I Am Women. A lot of Middletown women have been some of the I Am Women and part of my project.
That's so dope. I seen a lot of I Am Women stuff on your page when I went in there because there's regular I Am Women and then there's I Am Women too.
So what happened was I Am Woman I started it first that way, but when I went to make it a nonprofit, I Am Woman was already taken. So I had to put something else in. The I Am Woman 2 just makes it more inclusive. So I'm just not, I'm a woman. No, all inclusive.
Right.
That's why I added the 2. So so I've been a nonprofit for about a month and a half now.
You're like I definitely got to pick your brain. There's so much that I want to do, and I see you brush elbows with so many people. I'm sure people tell you things that they want to do, and you're like, I know somebody I could put you in touch with.
Absolutely. And it's important. It's important. And, it's part of my personality, too. I don't know if it's because I come from New York. I just don't know. But I'm an outgoing person, and I like to meet people and talk with them and find out what they do, let them know what I do. And that way we can have like a resume type of thing.
You're a straight network.
Right.
You're a network.
You're right. And if I don't know, then I might know somebody who. So when you rubbing elbows or sitting at tables with people, it's just very important. Like I had to learn not to be so standoffish when I approach a room or sit at a table. Like get up. Even if I come with somebody, sometimes if I come with my friend, I'll get up and I will go and mingle and meet people.
That's super important because a lot of the times we don't even know what our face looks like.
Right.
And it could be looking super negative or super mean to someone else, but we know internally, like, we're just this outgoing person.
That's right.
You're from New York, born and raised?
Born and raised in New York. Yes.
I'm gonna say, let me see. Do I hear the Bronx in there?
No, but I did live in the Bronx. Okay. But I'm originally from Queens, New York.
Queens, okay. Yes, How long were you in New York? Like what are your ties in Middletown or Connecticut?
21 years I've been here in Connecticut.
You've been here for 21 years.
I came 2003. So I've been here, 2003, and I started working, and I came straight to Middletown.
Where?
Right over here on Newfield Avenue.
Newfield Street.
That's where I lived at first.
Like Stony Crest type area?
There you go, right there. I couldn't think of
That's like the best house in Carabetta.
I love it.
Super affordable. They keep going up on the rent now.
They had a basement and everything.
Yep. And with the entrance.
With the entrance. I came to live with my god family. And I
Oh,
actually,
we gonna get
yeah,
into that.
yeah,
We definitely gonna get into that.
yeah.
So, I'm kind of all over the place, but
I'm
but
fine.
we're here in Middletown, right?
Yes,
So you took a picture of me. I love it.
yes,
You've been doing photography since like 2017.
yeah.
How do you get a connection with the Middletown press?
So I think it's actually was through my photography, taking the picture, and there was another photographer who actually worked with Middletown Press, and they asked to use my picture there. I was like,
Just like a
okay.
first time, just like
Yeah,
year, like
yeah.
early on, like
Early on,
2017
yeah,
ish.
early on. As I've been in a couple of newspapers. I've been in the New Britain Herald for the I Am Woman, but yeah, yeah.
That's just a connection that you got if you popping out to these events, like you say, you'll just show up with your camera.
Yes,
You will
just
do
show
now.
up.
Is it as a freelancer,
Sometime as a freelancer, yes.
and you'll just like, hey, I got
Yeah,
this really good.
I got
You
this
might,
really good shot.
and that's something. Is that like a career that someone can get into? Is like
Absolutely.
because
Yeah,
there's a lot of
absolutely.
people out here with their camera
Yes.
that is just starting off.
Right. Yep. And it is something that you can go to. You can go to the local newspapers and just like show them your portfolio. They might be hiring. They might be looking. But photographers are needed all over. I went to an event the other day, and it was about 4 photographers there. And I'm quite sure each one of us was getting paid, but we all get to collaborate separately and get images separately.
Right.
And it was a
Different.
big, yeah, different angles, different people. And it was a big organization out of Hartford. Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice because like I said, there's a lot of people who got their camera that they don't even really know what they're doing.
Right.
They don't even know that's even an avenue that they can
Right.
even go down.
And you know what? When I first got mine, I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to shoot. I just wanted to capture people. I wanted to get better, and that's how I got better. Until I took a class over here at the Adult Ed.
Yep.
I took in this course of photography so I could learn the camera.
That's fine. Now is that
Yeah.
is that something you had to pay for?
I had to pay for it, but it was well worth the money. Matthew Cable is the instructor there, and I was there for like 2 months.
I'm talking about picking your brain. The people watching gonna want to pick your brain because I'm from here. I didn't even know that's even something that they
Yes.
do here.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure you
do.
got little hidden gems just in there.
Yes.
I seen you got pictures. You brushing elbows at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so I attended their side street to Main Street to side street or side street to Main Street.
I'm a homeowner here. I need to get up on it because I'm
yeah,
not familiar.
So Middlesex Chamber of Commerce, you want to rub elbows with them and take one of their courses there. So they help entrepreneurs. And when I first started with my photography business, I went there and they suggested that, hey, well, why don't you take one of our courses here, side street to Main Street. And I was like, okay. So it must have been about maybe a 3-month course, and it was a commitment that I did, like I think twice a week for the next 2-3 months. We graduated from the class, but they help you. They help you with your business plan, and then once you take the course, you become a lifetime member. So when they have events, you just
I need
you can
that.
go to events.
I am a small business owner. I have my LLC. I
Yes,
own
yes.
TTTRN LLC.
Yeah, so
I have an internet radio platform.
I would definitely look into it. Jennifer Decline is the woman who runs it. Her and her, she's the one who will give you the application.
Yep.
But they do something once a year with Wesleyan University, and they have like Entrepreneur Day, right? Come to Wesleyan College, their gymnasium, and it's just a
It's a
table,
network event.
networking event, and everybody has their table and what their business is about, and the kids from the high schools, from the local high schools, the Middlesex area high schools come, and they ask us, so what is it like being a DJ?
Oh, And
Yeah,
they're
so
very curious.
right. So and it's wide range. So it's from DJing to food to photography to a
Pottery,
book,
anything.
anything. The police department is there. I mean, it's used. They have over 100 vendors there, and so they do it once a year. So I've done it twice. I've done it 2 times so far, and it's a form of giving back and educating the youths and letting them decide that one day, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. So I had a lot of people come up. You have your table, you have your business cards, you have the things that you are advertising your work,
Yep.
and people just come up to you and they ask, and the kids are prone to ask you questions like, why did you start photography?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would
so
love
Jennifer
that.
Decline over there at Middlesex Chamber of Commerce, they would love to have you because honestly, a podcast and a DJ was not, I didn't see that.
Right, and I'm honestly doing something that I don't know anyone else does.
Okay.
I'm into broadcasting. I have my own app. I have a internet radio platform.
There you go.
I'm setting people up with their own internet radio stations,
Right.
and that's kind of how
And
you even
that's
got
when
here today.
Right. And I remember talking about it when we was at Michael's.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Another thing we talked about was how I found my dad on Ancestry.
Yes.
And then you explained a little bit about your story, not too much, and I'm sure a lot of it is in her book Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McLean Journey.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about that, right? Because you found your birth family.
I found my biological family.
Now, were you adopted, or was it something like me, where I didn't know my dad, and then I found my dad and got introduced to this whole side of the family?
So I was raised in the foster care system.
Okay.
From birth, but settled with a family until I was 2 years old.
Okay.
So they raised me in Queens, New York, and by the age of like 10 or so, I learned that they were not my biological family. That
You said by 10.
yeah. So that was, that's traumatic. That's traumatic. And I had another little sister, and both of us were part of the foster care system, and we came in good faith. My dad and my mom couldn't have any. My mom couldn't have any more kids, and my father wanted a daughter. So, they got us from the foster care system. And my sister went to live with her real family, just left to me. And so that was in wonderment, to where they had to tell us, like, okay,
She's leaving.
right, and you're not even ours as well,
Do you still speak to your sister?
I don't. We've lost contact.
I know you guys were so young.
Yeah, and that was the thing. We were so young, and even through social media, because I always remember her name.
I'm sure you're trying to find her,
Yeah,
right?
I remember her name, and I remember her birthday. And so, by now, I'm quite sure she's married, kids, grandmother, all that kind of stuff. Because now she was, I'm 63, so she might have been 60. She might be 61. Yeah. A year or two younger.
Tell me a little bit about the finding out. Do you remember it like it was yesterday? Like that's
I don't remember it so much like yesterday. What stands out the most about it is me crying, sadness, and being in shock and not knowing. Okay,
what it really even meant.
Yeah, but what does this really mean, or how am I supposed to really feel? How do I'm 10. I don't, once the little shock wear off, and
Right, it's back to
my
normal
God.
living, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you find out at 10, you don't really, you just remember being sad. What was your teenage years like and young adulthood with that, knowing that
it was not good? After that, basically my life started unraveling like a hymn. It started pulling, and I just started showing up in places that I shouldn't have been. Where I should have been in school. Yeah.
all that stuff is in there,
All
right?
that stuff is in there.
Now,
Yeah.
and I want people to go and buy the book. So,
Yeah,
so I don't want to
definitely.
talk too much about it.
Okay.
We can take little highlights out of it.
Okie doke.
You know what I
alright.
mean? There's a couple pages in here, by the
Yeah,
way.
240.
240.
Yeah.
It talks about addiction.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It talks about just your life experience.
Yes.
I've had experience with addiction, and it probably wasn't until my child was born, my oldest child, and I was just like, somebody needs me. And it's crazy because I didn't need myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. I'm still like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I'm last. You know what I mean? But if it's dinner time, I want that big piece of chicken.
That's
no.
right.
What made you want to write a book? It's something that I want to do, and that's something that we could talk about afterwards. I feel like my story deserves a book too.
You know what? And we all have it, and it does. So let me plant that in your spirit. It does. Your story is important, and somebody needs to hear. And that's the same thing that I felt after finding my biological family. Like, that was a blessing from God that, like, everybody needs to experience in their lifetime, a blessing, and to be able to share it. So once I found them, I was like, oh, this is a story. This is a movie. I mean, how many times have I watched a movie concerning
or the shows that I've watched every show of Finding Your Roots,
right,
with Henry Louis Gates.
Yes, yes.
Finding Your Roots, Long Lost Family. So
yeah. So once I found my family, like, I need to write about this, and I don't need to write about it from the end part of finding them and that joy and what that felt like. No, I need to write about, like, well, what was happening before then. I knew in my spirit somebody would be able to.
I do.
And I'm basically transparent anyway. So the writing was going to be transparent. So I know there was going to be a woman, a man, a little girl who's able to read at 14 and older should read it, to be able to.
At what point, okay, so yeah, did you do an Ancestry DNA kit?
I did.
Did you? Is that you use Ancestry?
I did. I used Ancestry DNA.
How cool was that? Because I had the same experience. It's like kind of nerve wracking, right? At the very beginning.
You know what? It was. I started complicating it more in my head with the anticipation.
That's what I mean.
Right.
Yes.
So that part there was for me. But, like, once I emailed or once I got on their website, once I purchased it,
it was like, it's all go now.
Yeah, once it came in the mail, like, I didn't know, okay, so what do I,
it's processing.
Yeah,
right.
So am I going to be able to do the kit? Like, what do they want? Do they want my saliva? Do they want, like, what do they want? They want my urine? Do they want blood? It's like,
they want some hair? What they want?
Like, all of this stuff inside, and it was just a little kit, Bob, throw it back in the bag, and mail it.
And then it's a waiting game.
And then it's a waiting game. But I've been in long-term recovery.
Good for you.
And through my 12-step program, I've learned that your part ain't gone. So don't wait with anxiousness. Just carry on with your life. Because how it's going to unfold is how it's going to unfold.
I think a lot of us can take that to heart, right? I feel like me personally, I'm speaking for a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people are like me, but the results come in.
Yes.
I remember what it was like when my results came in. What was that like for you, and who did you find in your results?
So when the results came in, it came in through the website of Ancestry DNA, and there were second and first cousins, and I just kept writing this one. I made this one post that was behind the walls of Ancestry. Cheryl Miller. Oh my God, dear Cheryl Miller, I am Barbara McLean, and I was a foster care system of New York City, and I did the Ancestry DNA and found out you were my family. Can we talk? Here's my number. And I copied and pasted, erased the name, and went on to the next person, put my email and my contact number, and I just waited. I just waited for somebody one day. I was actually in Mexico celebrating my 60th birthday. My wife had taken me away.
60th birthday, Barbara?
Yeah, 60.
You look like you about 45.
I'll get ready to be 64 in about 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, you look great.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. But yep, we were in Mexico, my wife and I, Kelly, and I started getting hits from Ancestry on my
that little leaf
that little leaf popped up, and I was like, okay, I can't do it here. And because
You'll be a hot mess.
Right, I'm in Mexico. I came for my birthday. Let me enjoy it. I waited till I got back to the States to start answering, and that's when I started copying and pasting and throwing it in people's boxes of the family. And before long, my niece by Isha, said my granny's name is Barbara McLean. And that right there sent me.
Chills. It gave me chills just now.
I can still feel it. I can still feel it.
Yes.
Oh my God! And when she said that, my whole world just. I ran upstairs.
I want to cry right now. Just thinking about
I ran upstairs to my wife and I said, "This is my family. I found someone, and it
like
just
feel like a little kid again, right?"
And it just spread so evenly, like wildfire. It's just it was seamless. Let's put it that way.
Let me tell you a little bit, because we talked about it a little bit, but
yeah.
I did the process, the spit, I sent it out, the results come back. At the time, my mom is staying with me. My mom and my stepdad, rest in peace, Cliff. And I just, I got the notification, boom, and you got to go on the computer.
Yes.
So I go on the computer, and I don't even know what I'm really looking for. I really don't know. The first thing that I see was where I was from. You know how you could see like the different colors on the map from where you're from. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And I see that I'm like, sidetrack real quick. So my name is Pierre. And my mom named me Pierre, not knowing how French she was. My mom is like 100% French. She did not know it. She thought she was like Italian or something else.
Right, other than that.
I see that I'm like 50% French, and I'm like, holy crap, that's like whatever. So I go in the room, and I say, Ma, the results are in. I'm looking, I see where I'm from, and I'm looking at whatever. And then you know how you can go to, I forgot what it's called, but where you seen the first and second and third cousins.
Right.
So first of all, my wife and kids bought me that Ancestry for Father's Day because she knew that I didn't know who my dad was. My mom raised me. It's like, I'm an 80s baby. Things happened, and, she didn't have any answers for me. And I don't blame her or fault her for any of that. I could only imagine what she was trying to do in the 80s, raising 2 kids on her own, whatever. So I'm in there. I thought it was going to be like you, where I see these cousins and I'm copying and pasting messages.
Right.
But it didn't happen like that for me. I had a parent-child match. My dad was registered on Ancestry. And it's so funny. I tell this story all the time, and they probably heard it on the podcast. But you didn't hear it. I'm going to say it again.
Tell me.
She's like, what's his name? Like, what's the name say? And it was just like his screen name. It just said Ely Lowry, right? And then my mom was like, Ely Lowry. My stepdad is in the bed next to her and says, Lee Lowry? I said, I don't know, Ma. Do you know what Lee Lowry? She said, yeah. I said, well, did you do it with him? She was like, yeah. I was like, I think I found my dad.
Right.
But so that's how it went for me.
Wow.
You had to do some footwork, though.
Yes. But I was willing and I didn't give up. So thank you for sharing your story. That is so cool. Yeah, I had to do some footwork, but it was okay. It was all right. It rolled out, and once we found each other, and even in the book, once we got connected, this is the first time then Zoom was alive.
Oh
and
my
popping.
goodness.
And that's the first time that we saw each other live on screen.
That's so fire.
Yeah.
Now, who's this picture right here? Who's this?
So the little girl on the right is me, and the little girl on the left is my sister.
Is that a picture? Is this your birth mother?
No.
I mean, your foster mother?
No.
Who is this lady?
The lady.
There's a white woman here.
It is. So she was a friend of my mother's from Canada, and she was here. She was visiting our family for I don't know, but.
But what's so fire is that they was able to go and dig it up.
Yes.
Now, I see these stories. Your story sounds like Long Lost Family.
Yes.
Right? There's a show with Chris Jacobs. I love that show. But people remembered you? Did they? Was there?
They knew of me.
They always knew
They always knew. Always. My mother talked about me all the time.
How comforting is that?
Yes.
Because I'm sure you had times in your life where you feel like nobody knew who the hell you was.
Exactly.
Why you ain't come back for me?
Exactly. So, and I was named after my mother. Yes. So that's why my niece was able. My granny's name was Barbara McLean, and she has a daughter that we've been looking for. So they have been.
They've been talking about you,
all
passing
my life,
it down
all my life. Said they knew my birthday when I went to visit them, and my cousin, he's 70-something years old. He said every time 12/29 came around, that's my birthday, and
you got a birthday coming up?
Yes, and that melted my heart. I could still hear him saying it. Like every time 12/29 came around, I wondered what you were doing. Like, were you married? Did you have kids? Yeah. Like, were you in college? Like, where did you work? What do you look like?
And to be super successful, I know it warmed their hearts.
Oh, yeah. And I'm so glad that I am clean.
And they see you like this and not like that because I'm not laughing.
Yes.
I've been in the dirt.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's the truth. So, and my family, I mean, they adore me like I adore them. 8 nieces.
That Zoom meeting is important. So I met, I found my dad. I couldn't even write a message. I couldn't write a message. I didn't know what, it wasn't something that I did. It was gifted to me, the Ancestry DNA kit. And I didn't realize how important having a father figure. Well, I had a stepdad. He's had his stuff. I grew up in an alcoholic family, so it's not like he was the best. Right. I love him to death. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's my dad, but there was some rocky times, and I didn't know if just seeing his profile, my biological dad's profile picture, and seeing his name was enough for me.
Right.
I definitely couldn't deal with the rejection. I don't think I've ever cried that much in my life. So I had to have my wife write a message. Big shout out to Alicia.
Yeah,
she's
thank God.
so dope.
Yes.
But she pretty much just hit it from a standpoint like, hey, I have daughters. Health. We were talking about health before we started recording here. My health is something that I've been trying to manage throughout the years. Nothing crazy going on, but like I said, something might happen.
Right.
It happens every episode.
Of course.
Health is something that I've been trying to at least be aware of, because when things go wrong, you want to be the healthiest you can be to be able to bounce back.
Yeah.
So, I sent my dad a message and I didn't hear anything back for like a week, 2 weeks. It was tough. I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have sent a message. I should have just been good with the name and the picture. And the crazy thing is that my mom had became Facebook friends with my dad like a year earlier because they were friends. They didn't, and she's like, I've read the message. She's like, yeah, I got 3 kids. I got 2 boys and a girl. And he's talking about his kids. Not knowing that one of them was his.
It's his, right.
And so there wasn't anything. But when she found out that he hadn't responded, she was like, Pierre, I don't care what you say. I'm going to send him a message on Facebook. It got to a point I was like, all right, Mom, you just do it.
Yeah.
She did it. And what happened was he dives deep every so often into the Ancestry thing. And I do, when you go on Ancestry in the computer, you can see when someone was last logged in.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
He was logged in like 3 days ago at that time.
Right.
And he was diving deep. The story, we could talk about it more, but he had stopped, he had signed out or whatever, and then didn't look at it.
Right.
So then he went back in and seen the message, and we hit it off immediately. Like, I met all his brothers and sisters.
So your aunts and your uncles.
Aunts. Oh, you probably know some of them.
So cool.
I promise you probably know some of them. Yeah, so
Nothing like that feeling though.
Oh, but we have a Zoom meeting, family meeting,
Nice.
like once a month.
Nice.
That we just pop in. All the holidays we'll pop in and show our faces. The kids come on and say hi.
Yeah.
He had just moved to North Carolina a year prior.
Okay.
So he's in North Carolina, but super successful, man. Super successful dude. He's the owner. He was the owner. He's the founder of PMT.
Okay.
It's I forgot. I'd be lying if I told you what it stood for, but it teaches. It's a training that teaches you how to restrain properly.
Okay.
It's right by the police station.
Right. Look at that.
He's the founder of that, and into martial arts, and I don't know if this is moving on or not, but I see you went to Ghana. Did Ancestry bring you to Ghana?
I went to Ghana because my aunt was my biological aunt, Carol Nash, is a world traveler. And when I first met her 3 years ago, she took me in her basement and she had a map, a world's map. And she was like, I've been here, and I'm looking to go here. And I was like, well, when you go there, I want to go with you. I want to be part of that. I want to be able to travel. And, made it possible. She had called me and she was like, listen, I'm going to Ghana. What you think? And I was like, okay, let's do it,
Looking at your pictures on your social media, I'm just like in awe of some of the stuff,
Yeah, and I have Nigerian in my, so that was.
Cousins.
Yeah, we cousins. That's right. So I want to visit.
I don't know how many times removed or whatever that is, but.
Right.
What was the food like? What was that experience?
The food was delicious. I'm telling you, their seasoning, they season to perfection.
They got seasonings we don't even have over here.
That's right, and it's not salt. It's not no salt. Their seasoning is just. I tried fufu. I tried jollof rice.
I definitely tried fufu before.
Okay, yeah.
My guy, he was telling me don't chew it.
No, you gotta swallow it.
You gotta swallow it.
Yeah, it's a swallowing.
Whatever,
thing.
I don't know what that sauce was oh my goodness.
But that helped you to swallow it good, right? Because, we're used to just chewing. So like my first dip into it, and I put it in my mouth and I chewed, and then the guy saw me and he was like, no, you don't chew.
It get caught all up in
here.
here.
Yeah, all in there. He said, no, you swallow. And I was like, all right, I got the hand of it. I got it, So, everything was just so fresh. The pint, the fruit. Oh, my God.
What was it like being in Africa, right? Because it's like, we got forced to be here.
Yeah.
Did it feel like you was home?
I was home, and they made you feel like you were home.
Because they know what's going on.
Yeah, they do. And they make you feel like you are the queen that you are and the kings. They walk around. Even the kids, they run and walk around with their head held high. Hear me? I had a fantastic time. Like, I definitely want to go back. Parts of it was emotional, when I went to the slave dungeons.
Because that's the Ivory Coast over there.
Yes, that's the Ivory Coast. That's right. And when I went to the river and the door of no return and the door of return.
That was like the mecca of slave trade.
Yes, and so we embarked on that. We were able to be in the water where they were in the water at. We were actually in the dungeon. Like, I got pictures, and I didn't even use my I used my cell phone a lot of times that I was there, and I took my camera with me.
What year was this?
Just now, I just got back.
Oh, so that just had those pictures just
Oh
happened.
yeah, it's just new.
Oh, so you got
Yeah.
an iPhone? I'm assuming.
I don't.
You got you got a newer.
I got a
smartphone.
I got a smartphone,
But the camera's decent.
but the camera is decent on it, and it just, it wasn't really feasible to keep taking out my camera and shooting. It was more feasible just having my phone. A lot of times we had to go to different regions, and some of those regions was 5 hours away, and we was not getting out of, and I was the only photographer there. My aunt is 78, and her two friends were 78 too, and here it is, I'm 60. Oh, can I get out and take a picture? No, you better learn how to take one in this van and be happy.
For real.
And yeah, but it was amazing. And I know, like, one of the most important that I was gone with my aunt. And because I could travel with my cousins but it's my aunt. She's 78.
And y'all just met.
Right, 3 years ago, and she's the closest to my mom. That's my mom's baby sister.
So so that was one thing that I should have asked before.
That's
Are your
okay.
parents still here?
No, they're not. They're not. But it's a beautiful thing.
How was that?
It's
finding that out,
You know what? It's a beautiful thing getting to know them from the grave. My family tells me all the time about my mom. And
it's one of those, not to cut you off, it's not one of those, it's one of those things where, like, you're so happy that they met you today.
Right. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? It was my mother's last wish that I be found, that someone finds me in the family.
And look at, what's your niece's name?
Baisha. And she told Baisha, she asked her to find me. And Baisha was a young girl, on those computers trying to find. It was a name thing.
And it was Baisha that had the Ancestry account.
That
connected you with the whole rest of the tree.
Yeah. And actually, I met one of my cousins first, who I looked just alike, but she didn't have any information about the rest of the family. She didn't have my siblings. So she was a cousin, but she didn't know any of my siblings because she too was in the foster care system. But we looked just alike. When she showed me her picture and I showed my picture, I was like, oh my God, we're like twins. I was like, oh my God.
That was really, really fun to be able to pull up baby pictures of myself and show my biological family,
right,
just the years of me growing up, and they're like, oh, you look like this, or you look like this. I was able to meet my grandmother, my father's mother, before she passed. She had dementia. She was here in Middletown at one of the homes here.
Okay.
And she said, I went there with my sister, and she says, Grandma, this is Irvin's son, Pierre. And she looked at me and she said, Irvin don't got no sons. And then she said, you ugly. But what's super comforting to me is that all my uncles and aunts from my dad's side had all girls.
Wow.
I'm the only boy.
Ooh, how beautiful is that?
So as much time as they got to share with my grandmother that I didn't, I throw it in their face every chance I get that I would have been the favorite.
That's right.
And there's no arguing that.
That's right. None whatsoever.
You've been on some quite a few trips. Like,
yeah,
you traveled the world?
Too. I went to Cuba last year as well, and that was a beautiful time too. So I went with photographers, poets, and writers.
I just did a poetry slam.
You did?
I just DJ'd a poetry slam at Pine Loft on the Berlin Turnpike.
Nice.
Big shout out to Mari the Poet. It was a really dope event. Next time we have something, I'll let you know. Because you're involved with poetry as well.
Yes. Yeah, I hang out with poets. I think I can write a little something, but,
I'm sure you could put something together.
Yeah, well, I learned that I really like erotic poetry.
That's one way. Listen, hey, the slams are the best place for that.
Yeah. So,
where's somewhere you haven't been that you want to visit?
Well, I want to visit more continents of Africa. I do. So, and I want to be able where I can take my camera and really get some stuff. So Kenya,
yep.
Australia. You know, my wife, I want to go to Australia. Okay. All right. Um,
Did your wife take that trip with you to
she
Ghana?
did not. No, it's expensive.
I bet.
Yeah, it's
I bet.
expensive.
What's
And
that plane ride like? How
oh
far was
my
that plane
God,
ride?
that was grueling, grueling. Thank God they have pretty decent food, and they keep the lights nice and low because we traveled during the
Like
night,
14 hours?
at least. And they had good shows on TV to watch. So they had TV, they had movies. Um, Most important was that the lights were nice and low, and
There
the
was no
plane is
babies on
big.
the plane?
It was no babies on the plane. The plane is, and it was all of us. One of the greatest. And I didn't get that shot, but I got the shot in my head. All of us, all these African Americans, lined up to get on this plane. It, I mean, it was
Right.
just
It's gotta
so
be
many,
crazy.
man. I was like, look at this, and I'm behind, and I'm just watching them go for um, zone one, zone two, and I'm just watching all these zones, and just from behind, and just picturing like, and you're going too. You're right.
Exactly.
You're
You
right.
with them.
You
Right.
are right
You
with
you
them.
you them.
You them. And the welcoming that you get when you arrive, and the hospitality from the airport
I
hotels
gotta
to
get
the
out of the country.
restaurants.
I gotta experience
Oh
another
yeah, yeah.
country.
Because you know what? That's the it's the best education. I didn't I didn't get any of that stuff from the books. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No.
But going there live and being present and getting their history, like I started writing some stuff. Like I want to make a picture book of my trip to Ghana. So I didn't put a lot of pictures up on social media, just a few because I want to put them in the book. And I've already started like writing. What was my experience like there? You know.
Um what you just said reminded me of something that you got going on, which is junk journaling.
Oh my God! I
I
was
s-
introduced to that. It's so
I
fly.
I seen your work that you done. It is
Yes,
dope.
it is really dope. I'm waiting for my other pieces to come in. So right now it's just sitting
I
on my
can't wait to
table.
see it.
But so far my little pages are coming out so
Fire.
nice,
So
and
fire.
it's just part of who I am, being in touch with my creativity, and I really like enjoy it. It is quiet time. I don't need a lot of people around me doing it. You know, so I have my own vision board company as well, Vision to You, where I bring vision boards workshop as a facilitator to organizations. So I'm already in that zone, but with the junk journaling, it's like my personal thing. Oh,
Yes.
and I just always want to keep and be close to creativity as much as possible as a and it's all in alignment of who I am. Photography is about creativity, you know, like you see it before you even snap it. So it's the same thing with I apply the same principles there in my junk journaling. Like, let me see it first before I put all the pieces and glue all the pieces together. Can I see it first? Can I visualize it here, or
Yeah.
first before I put all the pieces together? But I'm really enjoying it
I
though.
loved it. I seen it, and I saw the post, and I showed Alicia, and I was like, "Yo, look how dope this is." It's something that I wouldn't mind doing. You should do like a class on it.
I would listen. I would love to. I'll get to the free center. I'll hang out
Exactly.
with Carrie and say, "Listen, let's do something." But first, I want to finish mine, and I'm loving how it's coming together. And I just ordered all this stuff. This is another obsession, but I just ordered all these little tiny stuff, like tiny cameras that you can put on there, little envelope. So I'm waiting. Timu have a lot of stuff.
Timu is Timuing.
Timu is Timuing, boys.
So, are you a Packers fan?
Well, my family is. So
Okay.
I had to, my cousin, who said, my cousin Roger, who said to me when I first met him, I always wondered about 1229 when it came around. He sent it to me recently in the mail.
He's like, oh, you better put this.
You know what? Because I was just there before I went to Africa. I went to visit them, and I try to go visit every 4 months. So my oldest sibling is 78.
Biological.
My biological, yes. So my brother Ronald is 78. My sister Pam is 76, I want to say. And then I have another brother. I have a brother, Curtis, who is 65. And then it's me at 64, because
So
I'll
you're
be
the baby?
64. I had another brother, and he passed away, and his year anniversary is coming up. But so it was 5 of us, and the last 3 are stair steps. So we're 64, or 65, 64, and 63.
No Irish twins?
No Irish twins. No, we're not Irish twins.
My
but-
brother and sister are Irish twins.
Really? Okay.
I definitely, this definitely is not going to be your last time on the podcast. I
Okay.
definitely, there's no other stuff that we haven't talked about, but we can't give them all the juicy
And
stuff,
no, not
right?
every good thing.
Make sure you guys grab her book, but we're not done right yet. I got a segment that I do. It's called One Gotta Go. I give you 2 options, and you got to tell me which one you could do without.
Okay, no,
Right?
right.
Super simple stuff.
Okay.
And then I got a question, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Podcast or radio? Which one's gotta go?
Radio.
Right? Yeah, we on the podcast. And you said you did a few podcasts.
Yes, I have a podcast, and I need to get back to it, but
I got you. I got you. 80s or 90s R&B?
man, oh, that's a tough one. 80s got to go. 90s is what popping.
Okay. Nah, for sure. Janet Jackson or Whitney Houston?
Oh, Janet got to go. I'm sorry. I'm a Whitney Houston
Okay.
fan.
All right. Now you said that
Hey,
comment. I love me some Janet. I love Whitney
know.
too, but
No, I love Whitney. I'm sorry.
that Control album is
It is.
so
It
good.
is. But
It's so
Whitney's
good.
voice is all that.
It is.
And she was just a natural talent, and she was my favorite artist.
2 pop artists that people don't consider pop.
Yeah. Right.
They're-
Right. Well, yeah.
What I think is crazy is that they you might disagree with me, which is fine because you love Whitney.
Yes.
But if Michael is the king of pop, I feel like Janet should be the queen of pop. But they never put that
But they-
title
they
on
never-
on Whitney.
Whitney either. No.
But-
well, after a while, but Whitney was something. I forgot what they had
They
her
label her
as.
as some-
They labeled her as something, but it's no. I'm sorry, they can't even be in the same league. Yeah, I know Control is all that, but Whitney
Yeah.
was a star, man.
No, for sure.
She her voice. Before her lifestyle took over her life, that voice was velvety. Ain't nobody can stand in her league.
Absolutely.
I love her. Love her. I'm crying now because I miss her.
Yeah. Facebook or Instagram?
Oh, Facebook could go. Instagram is
Yeah? You like Instagram? You on IG? I gotta follow you on IG.
Yep. Barkel_photography.
And then the last one gotta go. Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Oh,
2 family
I
ones,
know.
right? I had to.
Why you got both
'cause-
of them in there? We'll leave away Christmas and we'll just take Thanksgiving.
Right, with the good food
with the
and
good
good food.
and the good stuff.
So I would probably get rid of Christmas too, if that
Okay.
makes it any better. Because on our Thanksgiving we get family together and decorate the tree.
Okay.
So I
you got
slap it on top of there. One or 2 more questions,
Okay.
right? What's an accomplishment that you're super proud of?
going to Africa. No, writing my book. And if I have to, and I might need to just retract that, getting clean. Because if I didn't, nothing else would have followed. So
I agree.
getting clean.
Getting clean.
Getting and staying, not
Staying
just
clean.
getting, but
Staying clean.
Staying
Because there's a
clean.
lot of trials and tribulations that people will trip over. It's not easy. I'm in the same boat. I didn't have to go through the 12 steps or anything like that. I fight my own demons.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but no.
Yeah, and I have to say staying clean, because that's the foundation. And
what's next for BarBreezy?
Well, I want to do a podcast. I want to do that, and I want to get on with some more writing, and continue helping the community, the recovery community, any involvement that I have, staying true to that kind of stuff, be part of society, kind of community based, recovery based, and like. With my photography, just life.
You got a name for the podcast? You got an idea? Or
I do. It's called the Barbara McLean. Want me to show you the picture?
Yeah, do that. Let me see.
I got a logo.
Oh, okay.
No.
Now she's ready. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you right. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I couldn't wait for you to come here.
I appreciate it. I'm so glad that I'm able to.
Yeah, super close. Are you here in Middletown now, or?
I live in Cromwell.
Okay, so you're right there.
Yeah, I'm right here.
You're right around the corner.
Next door. Yeah,
what you got over there? Let me see.
My cousin designed it for me.
Fire. It's just Barbara McLean.
That's it. And see the microphone in the back.
I love it.
Podcast. So he gave me a couple of them that I like.
Yeah, I like it.
That's
I like
a nice one too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I just started. I told you I have an internet radio platform.
Yes.
I just started a new station called Speak Talk Radio. And right now, I only have my podcast streaming through it.
Okay,
so you can download the app or go on the website, tttradionetwork.com, and listen to Speak Radio. And it's all my podcasts, or you can go on whatever.
Okay.
This is your camera right here. How can people find you?
I am on Facebook, social media, under Barbara BarBreezy McLean. On Instagram, I am under Barkel BARKEL _ photography. Mail Barb BARB McLean.
Yes, this has been beautiful, and this is your platform. When you start the podcast,
yes,
I'm gonna be on. I want to come on your podcast.
I need a mentor.
I got you.
Yes,
I got you.
Yes.
When you write your next book, we're gonna promote it here.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, anytime you got anything going on in the community. If you need anything, reach out.
I will.
I want to remind me about the Chamber of Commerce. Stay in my messages. You know what I mean?
I will. So you had my in-law on here.
Who?
Jakar.
Okay, my guy, Money West.
So my son, my bonus son is Bashawn Brown. Alicia Moody,
I know Alicia Moody, yes.
Do you know her husband who passed away?
I didn't know him like that.
Oh, okay. So that's my son.
Okay.
So I'm married to his mother.
Okay.
And he's the one who gave me BarBreezy.
That's fire.
He said, "I think you're so cool. I'm gonna start calling you BarBreezy."
Right on point too.
And you know what? I've held that name forever, and people that's what they call me, BarBreezy.
Make sure you guys check out Blessed Not Bitter, the Barbara McLean Journey on Amazon.
On Amazon and BarnesandNobles.com.
And BarnesandNobles.com. Go pick this up. Check her out. See what she's got going on. Barbara, thank you so much.
No, thank you, DJ DNA. I appreciate being part of it. Thank you.
I got you. So that's the DJ DNA podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and be on the lookout for Barbara's podcast.
Yes.
Until next time, peace.